You ready to have some fun? Yeah. Okay. Ready to laugh a little bit? Yeah. How about giggle off and on for about an hour here? How about walking out of here saying, come on, kid, make my day. Have I got some new skills? Nothing more fun than some new skills, is there? Okay? Before we can do anything with kids, and you tell me, is this true? Do kids need limits and boundaries, yes or no? Yes. And are those easy to enforce? No. Okay, and do kids need limits and boundaries? Yes. And do they want them? Yes. No. And do they actually fight the very limits that they need the most? Yes. Absolutely. So why don't we talk about enforcing limits before we do anything to help this little guy? And how can we enforce limits? Because kids have a tendency to do what? Try to shoot those limits down. Now, why is that? We all agreed kids need limits, right? Yeah, and there's no doubt. Well, then why would they fight them? Well, see, it's our job to provide the limits and boundaries. It's their job to test those suckers, right? And why do they test them? The most basic human need of all is physical and emotional safety, which has to do with limits. So if I'm a little kid, I need to know that you love me enough to set those limits so that I will feel safe from the outside and also safe from my own behavior, right? By then I learned that when my kids start to test those limits and they say it's not fair, I have to give them the most boring response they have ever seen in their life. Because kids love to see me get excited and emotional because they know, oh, I'm almost there. I'm going to get my way, right? So I learned that when they say it's not fair, I have to say, I know. And let's practice that a little bit, the most boring tone you can. I know. And what's a kid going to do with those two words? Is he going to say, oh, thank you for setting limits? Or is he going to say, well, that's stupid? And now the answer is going to be what? I know. Oh, you're doing it so well. Yeah. And how do we create great character in our kids? And great character is the kid doing something right even when nobody is watching, right? And how is that created? It's modeled by the parents. It's demonstrated by the parents, isn't it? It's expected. It's a household expectation. And it's enforced when it doesn't happen. And what's the trick to enforcing? The trick is, have you ever heard people, this is sidebar, ever heard people say, well, consequences never work on my kid? Yeah. Would you like a little insight into why? See, the consequences never work if a kid can blame the adult and make the adult the bad guy. And so the secret, and I wish I had time to do that, you can get into our materials and learn a lot about empathy, but the trick is we lock in empathy first before we ever mention a consequence. Oh no, wrecked the family car. Wow, that's gotta be rough. Bet you feel awful. Yeah. Now, that does something to the brain. That changes brain chemistry. Now the kid is in which, fighting mode or thinking mode? Thinking mode. Now we can tell the consequence. And you'll be driving again just as soon as you get that car paid for. How do you want to handle that? Right? Now we lay on the consequence. Now it's meaningful. And the funny thing is, I didn't tell you guys one thing new today. All I did was help you bring up out of the subconscious mind all the stuff you know already and then give you a little confidence that say, yeah, it's really okay.